Let's talk about a feeling we all know. That moment you're staring at a test, your heart is pounding, and your mind just goes blank. Well, today, we're going to flip the script. This isn't just about studying more, it's about mastering the mindset to turn that test anxiety into real, actual confidence.
You know the feeling, right? You're in the exam room, you studied for weeks. You see a question, and you absolutely know the answer is in there somewhere, but you've got nothing. Your brain just hits a brick wall. It is probably one of the most frustrating feelings on the planet. Okay, first things first, if that's you, you are not alone. Not by a long shot. And here's the really good news. It's completely fixable. See, taking a test, it's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can totally master it. So, our journey to mastering this skill starts way before you even bubble in the first answer. This first section is all about getting your brain in the right headspace. Because really, how you start a test is almost always how you're going to finish it. This right here, this is basically Brain Science 101. When you panic, your brain goes into fight or flight mode. It's great if you're, running from a tiger, but it's terrible for remembering stuff because it shuts down the smart thinking part of your brain. A calm brain, though, it has full access to all your memories and reasoning skills. That's the brain we want to bring to the test. So how do we get calm? Here's a super simple 60-second ritual. First, 3 slow, deep breaths. This literally lowers your heart rate and tells your brain, hey, we're safe. Next, a quick shot of positive self-talk to get your head in the game. And finally, just scan the whole test. No surprises. This whole process takes the power away from the scary unknown and puts it right back in your hands. And listen, this isn't about some cheesy, fake positivity. It's about being realistic. Remind yourself, hey, I put in the work. I studied for this. Give yourself permission to not be perfect. Because that pressure, it's a total confidence killer. Just deciding, you know what, I'm going to try my best. That alone can be enough to clear your head. Okay, so you're calm, you've started the test, but then it happens. You hit a question that makes your brain screech to a halt. What now? Well, this section is all about building your in-test toolkit for that exact moment. I love this analogy because it's so true. Your brain is a search engine. The information is in there, but when you're stressed, you're basically typing in the wrong keywords. The goal isn't to force the answer out, it's just to find a better way to search for it. So what are these better search words? We call them memory triggers. Try this. Skip the question and let your subconscious chew on it in the background. Or try to actually picture the classroom you were in when you learned it. What did the board look like? Even just scribbling down a related word or a formula can be the tiny key that unlocks the whole answer. Now, memory triggers are awesome for stuff you've learned but forgot. But what about those questions where you draw a complete and total blank? Like you're pretty sure you never even learned it? Well, that's when we stop trying to recall and we start using pure strategy. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the process of elimination. This might be the single most powerful test-taking trick out there. It's a total game changer because it's not about knowing the right answer, it's about spotting the wrong ones. And here's how you do it step by step. First, physically cross out any answer that you know is just ridiculous. Get it out of your sight. Then, become a detective and look for extreme words like always or never. Tests rarely deal in absolutes. And just like that, you've taken a total shot-in-the-dark guess and turned it into a 50-50 coin flip. And don't just brush this off. This is huge. A pure guess on a 4-option question gives you a 25% chance. But by just getting rid of 2 obviously bad answers, you have literally doubled your odds to 50%. That's not just blind guessing anymore. That is strategically winning points. And hey, don't forget the test itself is full of clues. Get in the habit of circling or underlining the key words in the actual question. So many points are lost just from misreading tricky words like not or accept. And here's a pro tip. Sometimes a hint for question number 5 is literally hiding in the paragraph for question number 18. So keep your eyes peeled. All right, we are in the home stretch now. How you manage the last part of a test is every bit as important as how you start. So let's talk about the smart habits that help you cross that finish line feeling good. This right here shows a classic trap we all fall into. You spend 10 minutes wrestling with one impossible question, and it just drains your time and your confidence. The smart move? Go on an easy question hunt first. Knock them out. This builds momentum, it banks you some guaranteed points, and it warms up your brain for the tougher stuff later. So here they are, the 4 big habits.
We've talked about knocking out the easy ones and moving on. But check out that last one. Trust your first answer. Study after study shows your first instinct is usually correct, so don't change an answer unless you find stone-cold proof that you were wrong the first time. And this might be the most important thing to remember out of everything we've talked about. Let this one really sink in. A test doesn't measure your intelligence. It's not a judgment of your worth. All it measures is how prepared and how focused you were on one particular day in one particular moment. That's it. So when you use all these strategies, what you're really doing is taking control of that moment. You're managing your focus, you're using your preparation, and you're trusting that deep down the knowledge is there. Because it is. You really do know more than you think you do.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you sit down for a test, which one of these new strategies are you going to put into action? Is it the 3-breath ritual, the process of elimination? Decide now so you're ready to go when it really counts.